Hey guys, this is Rashard with Crypto Loaners, and I'm just driving to work right now. And right now Cryptohopper is offline, so I figured, well, I can't do a Cryptohopper video like I wanted to this morning. It's been down for a few hours, but they finally sent out like a telegram. Well, at this point it would have been like 20 or 30 minutes ago, but it was down for a good solid couple hours before they finally sent out a message saying that they were down, which kind of sucks. I mean, honestly though, with the market swing that we are having today, chances are bot would have just been off anyway, or in sell only mode, so that you're not picking up bigger bags than you'd like. Because anytime that the market swings wildly as wildly as it is right now, chances are, not completely, but the good chances are that all of the standard market indicators would be bad purchasing decisions right now. They'd make bad decisions for you. Signals would still potentially be good, though. Mining Hamster had a couple of bad signals recently that it's like my worst bag that I have currently is one of those, I believe it was Neo or Nano, I can't remember which right now, but that bag is, I think it's up a little right now. I think it's at like -17. At one point it was either -25 or -27. It was just horrible. For the most part, Mining Hamster's been awesome. A couple of misses here and there, unfortunately, but not everyone can bat 100. It's impossible. But they were doing really, really well. But man, that was a bad one. While I'm doing this, just chat and drive, one of the things that I'm still doing right now is looking at Profit Trailer, and I'm going to do a comparison video at some point between Cryptohopper and Profit Trailer. And I could get some of those thoughts out now, I guess. One of the great benefits of Profit Trailer as opposed to Cryptohopper is illustrated right now in that you kind of control your bot with Profit Trailer. If your computer is down or whatever you're hosting it is down, that's more on you than on the other bot service, whatever, and you can kind of get that up and running again whenever you want to. If you want to take it offline for maintenance because you feel like rebooting your computer, doing whatever, it's completely up to you. With Cryptohopper, that is unfortunately not an option. And there are times where, honestly, I don't know for sure. I can't prove it. It's just one of those things where I feel like that service, I feel like Cryptohopper at sometimes isn't buying when it should be buying. And I'm almost wondering if on the back end there are times where that server is just kind of down, but the front end is up, so it looks like it's doing what it's supposed to be doing, but it really isn't, as far as using strategies to make purchases. I mean, it would still do it with signals and things like that from other things. It was just specific with indicators, and maybe I'm wrong. It just felt that way. The one great plus with Cryptohopper, obviously, is the signals and being able to use signals with strategies or without strategies if you want to. Works really well for that. I think that it's a great thing. Another thing for Profit Trailer's advantage is the ability for add-ons. Unfortunately, some of those add-ons are expensive. And I'm not going to use any of those paid add-ons if I can help it. There's a great free paid add-on, or free paid. There's a great add-on that's for free right now called Profit Trailer Magic, PT Magic. Basically does what PT Feeder does, which is it analyzes the market, and it'll help make determinations on what you should do. Basically, if the market's in a state like it is right now, it'll put Profit Trailer in a sell-only mode so that you can you don't buy anything that you shouldn't. It will also if the market's doing well, where, you know, maybe you should be buying more, or you can sell for a higher profit, it'll take profit trailer, whatever your sell signals were, and increase those, so that if you were, let's say, you had a gain set for 1%, and the gain was, or the market looked like it was doing really well, so you could make an extra profit, it'll change your gain trigger to 1.3%, and the gain trigger in profit trailer is basically what the TSL is in Cryptohopper. So if you had your, think of it, if you're normally used to Cryptohopper, if you have your Hopper TSL set at 1% to ARM, it would be like it set your ARM at 1.3% instead. And then it would leave your trailing stop still at whatever you had it set at. So there's a lot of really cool, interesting features that Profit Trailer has. Ultimately, I think one of the things that it comes down to, though, is your budget and how much you want to kind of pay for these things and these features. Profit Trailer can definitely be pricey for someone that doesn't have the money to buy a bot at the moment. It's you know, 0.03 Bitcoin's nothing to sneeze at. Right now, that's probably worth about $400. I'd have to actually get a calculator out and do the math, but I'm gonna, you know, average out about $400. Where, you know, with Cryptohopper, you can do monthly. They've got different levels of monthly spending you can do. On one of the Facebook groups I'm on, someone did a pretty good analysis of the signals that Mining Hamster put out, where, like, okay, this coin was signaled X amount of times and made this amount of profit. You know, so you could potentially still get the $20 version of Cryptohopper and use signals based on what they are usually signaling. Oh, and there's a new signal on Cryptohopper, which is awesome. There's I believe it's called like Altcoin Ninjas. They've placed a couple of signals recently in my Hopper that have done decently. Like, I've made a few decent trades with them, and they're free at the moment. So you got nothing to lose by using. Well, I shouldn't say you have nothing to lose, because they're basically gambling with your money. So. But so far they've produced a good product. They've on Binance, they've sent some good signals to me that I've done well with. So for now, I'm going to stick with them and see where things go. Definitely not going to keep using Crypto Grow. I'm not saying that they're bad. I think on Binance, I don't think they perform as well as I'd like, and I haven't used them in a little bit, actually. I've just looked at some of what they're signaling, and I don't completely trust it, unfortunately. I wish I did. Seemed like a good guy. It's just not for me. The altcoin ninjas. I think that they're on Facebook. I think I've seen them there. Maybe on Twitter also. I'd like to try to reach out to them, because on the post that I saw, they refer to themselves as a group, and I'm curious as to what their strategy is on making buys and trades and things like that. So, yeah, I think I'm done for now with this video. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to kind of touch on real quick, just as I'm going. You know what? Actually, a little bit of ICO talk. This channel originally first started out, if you go back to the very, very, very first video I did, it was based on different lending programs, and I was going to go through and try different lending programs and, you know, put $100 into each of them and see where things go. Lending programs, as you know, for the most part, have almost completely fallen off the map. Lendconnect is still around, but they just did something a little weird that I'm not happy about over the weekend, where they were using Coin Exchange as their exchange until they get their exchange up and running. So if you want to make any withdrawals or deposits, you could use Coin Exchange and use and send either coins in or out until their exchange is up and running. Their exchange is supposed to be up and running as of yesterday. They took down the Coin Exchange withdrawal because they were supposed to get their own exchange up, but they didn't get their own exchange up. They ran into some issues. They delayed it a week. That wasn't completely made clear, so I wound up taking my coins, or taking the money that I had and then transacting that, exchanging that into coins on the Lendconnect site, which charges a fee for that. And then I was going to send that money to Coin Exchange, but there's no way to do a withdrawal right now. They just kind of removed that functionality until they supposedly get their exchange up, which is very, very, very annoying. To me, it's not a good look. Like, they should have left that link there until they were 100% ready to go. For anyone that just needed to get there to do whatever with their money, for them to not allow that is just a really bad look. It makes you wonder what's going on with them. I had also put some money previously, a month ago or so, into a couple of different ICOs. Ooh, that light's bad there. Wow, Colorado light. Colorado sun. So, yeah, I put my money into a couple of different ICOs going back a month or so ago, mostly into lending program ICOs. And some of them have kind of evolved over time. Ficoin, before they even launched their lending program, decided they weren't going to do lending. They're doing this staking program where they're doing like 30%. They'll give you basically 30% a month of their token while you stake with them. I don't know how I feel about that as a whole. I don't know if I'm going to try that. I might just try selling my tokens and getting out now. Lendconnect, I don't know what their current plan is, if they're still going to be doing, if they're still going to do lending or not. We'll see. They sounded the most promising of all of them for a while, but I have no idea where they're going right now. And there's another one, EMC Coin, where they've launched on, I think, the Ether Delta exchange a while back. But Ether Delta seems kind of weird to me. I don't know. I just have to look into it more honestly. And that's another one I'll probably sell out of shortly, and see if I can just get my money back. So I'm going to start looking at ICOs that aren't revolving around lending packages and just seeing where that goes. I'm hoping that I can find a few decent ICOs that might pay off a little bit here and there. Or if, at least if they don't, you know, I shouldn't say pay off, but more that hopefully they wind up taking off. Like Lendconnect initially, in the early days when I first had their token in the ICO, or no, sorry, I didn't even have the ICO token. I had bought them just as they launched. If I had taken the money that I put into it and just sold that token immediately after, I would have made, I think, like a 12x profit, 13x profit in like 2 days. I would have had like $13,000. But it is what it is. Now you know, you just never know, really. So I don't want to put a ton of money into these things where I feel bad if it doesn't work. So that's why, like, you know, $100 here, $100 there, every so often won't kill me. And it also, you know, if it works out well, if you can get sometimes like a 10x out of that, that's a decent profit for not a whole lot of work. Like, you do your investigation, you read things, you read into it and do some investigation here and there, but hopefully that all in all, honestly, only takes potentially 20-30 minutes of your time just to look at something like that to see whether or not it's worth looking into and purchasing. Obviously you can spend a lot more time, But I think that overall, unless you're super deep diving, you could probably figure out whether or not it's something you want to be into relatively quickly. Like a lot of times I'll look at ICO review sites and I'll just read what those ICOs are doing, and 9 times out of 10 within 30 seconds I find that they're just not something I want to purchase into, mostly because the end product that they're doing just doesn't, it's not that the end product doesn't make sense, but it's like, well, how is having a token going to help with what you're doing? Like, it just doesn't quite add up to me. Like, whatever your product may work, but your product could have worked on the standard dollar. Like, I don't quite there are so many of those out there where it feels like they're creating a token just to have a token, and to use the ICO as a way to just make money initially to start up their product, but then that token, it has no utilitarian value after that, is the way it seems. Like, maybe they'll have it there, but it's just, like I said, the difference between that and just using a dollar or some other fiat currency doesn't quite, it just doesn't add up. So, yeah, do your due diligence when you're looking at that type of stuff. And you can probably figure out within an early amount of time if it's something you want to look at or not. And if then when you do see one that looks really kind of cool, then it's like, all right, going to their website, reading their white paper. And the term white paper kind of annoys me, actually, being I'm in the tech industry. And when we deal with white papers, usually those things are monstrous papers that are full of technical details, just hundreds of pages, technical details on protocols and how something works down to the minute detail of everything. These white papers that you see on most of these sites for anything and everything are basically brochures. A 10-page white paper to me it might as well just be a brochure, the way that they have large pictures and fonts and everything else. I don't know. Maybe it's just me nitpicking some vocabulary use there, because I don't think it should be called a white paper. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. It was mostly me just rambling and talking. If it's the type of video that you'd like, where I'm not necessarily sitting in front of my computer trying to show you something, let me know. If you thought that this was complete garbage and a waste of time, please let me know, and I won't do it again. All right, thank you guys very much.